alone. This bar's the place I call my home. I sip the swallow pride. Pretend the moonlight lights by my side. Tell me, was it ever real? Or just a song you used to feel? I still burn. I still ache. I still whisper your name when I break. In this velvet room where memories bloom, I still wait for a shadow to take shape.
Well, hey there. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to Dave's After Hours Trivia Club Live. Step inside the lounge, grab your drink of choice, and settle in. Here at Dave's After Dark, we stir up memories, test your smarts, and maybe, just maybe, teach you something new along the way. We do go live most Sundays and sometimes even on Wednesdays like tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. The doors swing open, the lights go low, and the trivia flows. Tonight's show is a little bit art, a little bit history, and all interactive game show. We've got 3 brand new countdowns rolled into one late night challenge. While our robots quickly paint each scene, I serve up the clues, and you will take your best guesses as we move through tonight's 3 categories. First, the top 20 musical acts of the 30s and 40s. So we're going back in time. Next up, the top 20 ancient cultures that existed before the start of the Common Era, so before the year 0. And finally, we'll do the top 20 movie examples of Hollywood film noir. Noir. This isn't just a trivia show. It's a fast-paced gauntlet of art, memory, and mystery. Let's see how many you can guess before the brush finishes its final stroke. Now, be sure to check in down in the chat. Say hello, throw your guesses, or just hang with the crew. If I spot a question, I'll do my best to work it in as we go. Hey, Marina. Hey, Rhombus. What's going on? Good to see you guys. You're always the early birds. We like that. All right, let's fire up the robots and go ahead and get this first round underway. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. There we are. Now, you know the rules. The robots do the painting. You do the guessing. I drop the clues. So let's play. Now, this first one's going to be the top 20 musical acts of the 1930s and 40s. So we're going back in time quite a bit. Here we go. Number 20. This trio of sisters became an emblem of wartime morale with their upbeat harmonies. Okay. They performed for troops during World War II, often accompanying the USO. Their vocal style combined swing, boogie-woogie, and pop. One of their most famous songs features a brass-playing military man. Anybody remember who this is? When I give you the song, you may know it. You may know it. Now, I might be just too old, but I knew who this was. Their most iconic hit tells the tale of a boogie woogie bugle boy. Yeah, you know the song, but we're looking for the act. What's the name of the group or the act or the person? Anybody know? You've got the song. Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. You know who it is? It is the Andrews Sisters. The Andrews Sisters. 1937 is when they started. Yeah, okay. Well, some of these are tough, so good luck. Yeah, I've heard of all of them. So, there's that. Number 19. Now, this musician was one of the best clarinetists of the swing era. He briefly married Hollywood star Lana Turner. So he had that going for him. He's known for his perfectionism. He disbanded his orchestra several times. He was so pissed off. His most famous recording was originally a Cole Porter song. I've never heard of this now, but Begin the Beguine became his signature hit. Begin the Beguine. I don't know what that is, but that became a signature hit. Oh, good guess. Hang on to that. That may come up very, very soon. Hey, doctor, what's going on? That may come up very, very soon. But that's not correct for this one. You try to remember all those names. That'll be helpful. This is Mr. Artie Shaw. He's the clarinetist. He was the one married to Lana Turner. There you go. Artie Shaw. He once said that his clarinet felt like an extension of his soul. Hey, I think the doctor might know this one. This guy's known as the King of Swing. His groundbreaking 1938 Carnegie Hall concert brought jazz to new audiences. He is famous for his collaborations with pianist Teddy Wilson and vibraphonist Lionel Hampton. What is a vibraphonist? Is that like a harmonica? I don't know. Yes. Yes, doctor. It is correct. Benny Goodman was born in 1909 and passed in 1986. The iconic tune Sing, Sing, Sing made him a legend. I think most of these are instrumentals, so you're not going to have to worry about me singing tonight. Goodman helped break racial barriers in music by hiring black musicians in his bands. There you go. Benny Goodman. Certainly a famous name from the past, right? We've all heard of Benny Goodman. And there he is. Number 18 on our list. All right, another guy we've heard of. Coming up at number 17. I'm going to tell you when he was born, 1904. And he did pass fairly early, 1957. This was a swing era band leader known for his smooth saxophone and clarinet skills. He often performed alongside his equally famous brother. Excuse me. He led one of the most versatile big bands of the 30s and 40s. He is known for blending jazz with Latin influences in hits like Amapola and Tangerine. Those sound familiar. I don't know. His orchestra scored multiple chart-topping hits, making him a household name. Yeah, it's not Benny Goodman again. It's one of those other guys. Do you remember any other names from the swing era, big band, from the big band era? Who's another big band guy? And this is the brother. Just add, this isn't the most famous one of the brothers. This is the less famous brother. But he's still on our list at number 17. This is Mr. Jimmy Dorsey. Jimmy Dorsey, that sound familiar? The Dorsey brothers' sibling rivalry was so intense they briefly formed separate bands after a major falling out. There you go. All right, number 16. Now, I might get a little harder here for a minute. This gentleman was a master of scat singing and flamboyant stage presence. Now, he often performed in a zoot suit. You know what a zoot suit is? Cool. And led the house band at the Cotton Club. This is where he's most famous. Zoot suit guy, Cotton Club, known for his animated delivery and wild dance moves. You just imagine him in a zoot suit, doing some wild dance moves. His signature song featured Heidi Ho, Heidi Ho. That almost sounds familiar. Heidi Ho call and response. He would call and ask for the audience to respond. Minnie the Moocher became his most iconic performance. There you go, Doctor. There you go. Yeah, Rhombus. You guys know who it is. Well, very good. You guys both got that. Excellent. Cab Calloway. Cab Calloway. His energetic style later influenced rock and roll frontman. So he was the model. All makes sense now, doesn't it? It all makes sense. All right, number 15. You'll know this lady's name. She's a legend. A jazz and blues vocalist whose voice conveyed deep emotion. She did struggle with addiction throughout her career, so she was the role model for that. Yes, if we find humor in it. Known for singing about the pain and hardship of life. One song in particular became a haunting anthem against racism. Who knows who this is? Really well known. Well known. Jazz singer. Lady Day. I don't know. You know, that is her nickname. That is her nickname, I think. Lady Day. Yeah, she was nicknamed Lady Day by saxophonist Lester Young. Correct. Oh, so you knew who it was. You were just throwing out the nickname. I like that. Strange Fruit is one of the most powerful songs ever recorded. Maybe you could hum a few bars for me. I'm not sure I know Strange Fruit. Although, if I heard it, I might know it. You're correct. It's Billie Holiday. Lady Day. There she is. She checked in at number 15 on our list of top acts from the 30s and the 40s. Here's number 14. I think you've heard of this guy. A pianist and bandleader whose style defined swing jazz. That's cool. His orchestra was known for its rhythm section and smooth grooves. Alex, what's going on, man? He collaborated with many jazz greats, including Ella Fitzgerald. A famous instrumental hit was named after a late night time. Hmm. 1 O'Clock Jump became his signature tune. 1 O'Clock Jump. Anybody know? Any guesses? Any guesses? Duke Ellington's a great guess. Incorrect. Great guess. But hang on to that, Doctor. As usual, you are clairvoyant. This is Mr. Count Basie. Count Basie. He famously said, you play a tune and if a person don't tap their feet, don't play that tune. Makes sense. If they're not tapping to it, it's no good. All right, Doctor. Who's this? Number 13. His compositions redefine jazz as sophisticated and orchestral. The leader of one of the most famous big bands in history. There you go. Now your answer is correct. We'll leave it up on the board. One famous song insists that it doesn't mean a thing if it lacks something. Oh, yeah. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. I remember that. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing is his signature hit. There he is. Looking very dapper there. Mr. Duke Ellington. You are correct. Ellington preferred to be called Edward Kennedy Ellington, not Duke. To emphasize his refined image. Okay. Well, the Duke had that going for him. All right, Duke checks in at number 13. I know, it is. It's twice he predicted the future. We're going to have to watch for that. I guess I could not give it away, too. I could make it. then he'd have a harder time. All right. Number 12. I think you know this lady. She's known as the First Lady of Song. Sounds important. Her vocal range and clarity made her a favorite of both jazz and pop fans. She recorded iconic songbooks paying tribute to composers like Gershwin and Porter. Yeah, correct you are. You even got it on the right one. Her signature technique involves singing instrumental solos with her voice. A playful, you'll remember this one, a tisket, a tasket became her breakout hit. That was the day, right? When a tisket, a tasket was the breakout hit. You are correct. It's Ella Fitzgerald, of course. Ella Fitzgerald. She once won a talent contest at the Apollo Theater, which did launch her career. There she is. She only passed fairly recently. I guess fairly recently. Relative term. 1996. Relative term. All right, number 11. All right, now I've heard of this guy, but I couldn't place I don't think I could place his music. See if you guys can. A clarinetist and band leader known for his herd orchestras. His music mixed swing and elements of blues and bebop. One of the biggest hits was a fast-paced instrumental named after a wood-cutting tool. This is the guy who did the wood-cutting song. How's that for a clue? He was known for keeping his bands evolving and modern. All right, so Woodchopper's Ball is the name of the hit song. Woodchopper's Ball remains his most famous tune. Woodchopper. Herd orchestras. The Herds. You know why they were called the Herds? Because they had such a powerful driving sound. They were like a herd of animals. This is Mr. Woody Herman. Woody Herman. Anybody heard of that? No. I've heard of him, but couldn't place it, that's for sure. All right, well, we've done 20 through 11. That means we are down to the top 10 acts, musical acts, of the 30s and the 40s. And this is certainly a big name everyone's heard of. A jazz pioneer whose gravelly voice became instantly recognizable, much more so than mine. His joyful trumpet playing and charismatic personality made him beloved worldwide. An improvement. Often referred to as Satchmo or Pops. Satchmo. I think I got that one. Correct. You guys know it. I think it was my superior gravelly voice that helped. He popularized the song about seeing trees of green and skies of trees of green, skies of blue. I don't have the tune going on. What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world. Louis Armstrong is correct. Armstrong famously said, if you have to ask what jazz is, you will never know. Okay. What a wonderful world. All right. Louis checks in at number 10. That's the most fun we're going to have, I think. Number 9. It's always good to do number 9. Known as the Sentimental Gentleman, his band featured a young Frank Sinatra as a vocalist. He led one of the most popular big bands of the swing era. One of the most famous songs asks about smiling. Oh, no, but hang on to that, Doc. Hang on to that one. But that's incorrect. It's not Glenn Miller. I'll Never Smile Again became a massive hit. His band featured a young Frank Sinatra. And he had a brother that we saw earlier. How's that for a clue? His brother, we saw his brother already. Well, it's not quite the same though, Rhombus. That's too much of a clue though. This is Mr. Tommy Dorsey. Tommy Dorsey. We saw Jimmy Dorsey earlier, right? This is Tommy Dorsey. His brother Jimmy Dorsey was also a famous band leader, and they often competed for chart success. Yeah, Tommy. Tommy was slightly better than Jimmy, I guess. He's number 9. Jimmy was 16. All right, number 8. I think you know this guy. A crooner whose velvety voice made him a teenage heartthrob in the 1940s. His early career was boosted by singing with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. We just found that out. He's known for his impeccable phrasing and emotive delivery. Very good, Robus. You're paying attention. I like that. Pay attention, you can get them. The clues lead you everywhere. One song title suggests he won't ever show happiness again. I'll Never Smile Again became a signature song. Sinatra's fans were known as Bobby Soxers for their enthusiasm and fashion sense. Frank Sinatra, there he is. No, he was called Old Blue Eyes, wasn't he? Old Blue Eyes. Frank Sinatra. He was born in 1915 and passed in 1998. Artie's in the house. What's going on, Artie? Good to see you, man. Old Blue Eyes. Fly me to the moon. Right? That's a good one. All right. Another crooner is next. Number 7. Actually rated above Frank Sinatra for the 30s and 40s. Now, Frank went on into the 50s and 60s, right? But this guy was bigger in the 30s and 40s. His warm baritone voice made him one of the most popular recording artists ever. Famous for both his solo work and film collaborations with Mr. Bob Hope. I bet they did some like Christmas movies or something, didn't they? The road movies. Associated with one of the best-selling singles of all time. Known for crooning about a festive snowy season. It's not Bobby something. It's not Danny Thomas. Doctor had it earlier. Good job, Doctor. Danny Thomas. Maybe, could have been. And it's not Bobby. White Christmas. You ever hear of that? Crosby's casual singing style set the template for modern pop vocalists. Mr. Bing Crosby. Not Cosby, not Bill Cosby, but Bing Crosby. There he is. Pipe, signature pipe. White Christmas moon. I don't know the rest of the words. Does he sing a song with David Bowie? Oh, okay. That sounds cool. I think it sounds familiar. Don't know. I think you know this guy too. I might be able to sing a bit of a tune. A smooth vocalist whose jazz piano playing was equally renowned. His trio's unique sound was groundbreaking for its time. Known for blending jazz, pop, and blues with effortless charm. Very good. Doctor knows his 30s and 40s. One of his hits involves giving a positive attitude adjustment. That's a good clue. Straighten Up and Fly Right became a popular post-war tune. There you go. Yeah, Nat King Cole is correct. I think he had a daughter that could sing too, right? Cole was one of the first black artists to host a nationally televised variety show. Yeah, he had a kind of a gravelly voice too, didn't he? Well, maybe not. I think I'm just confusing him with Louis Armstrong. Nat King Cole. Checking in at number 6 on our list of top musical acts from the 30s and 40s. All right, now, I didn't really know this next guy, number 5, but apparently he was huge, huge. A virtuoso guitarist who overcame severe hand injuries to develop his unique style. His fusion of jazz with Romani music became known as gypsy jazz. This is the gypsy jazz guy. Not that I know what that is. Often performed with violinist Stephanie Grappelli in Quintet du Hot Club de France. I like Marty McFly. I think that's a doctor. Doctor knows. Just ask the doctor. Just ask the doctor. Minor swing became a defining piece of jazz guitar. There you go. Kind of an interesting name, right? Django Reinhardt. Reinhardt's use of just 2 fingers on his left hand made his playing style extraordinary. There he is. Django Reinhardt was born in 1910 and passed in 1953, and he's number 5 on our list of top musical artists from the 1930s and the 1940s. There you go. Very good. Yeah, Doctor is smashing it. Smashing it. All right, let's see. Get the next one. We got a couple groups here that might confuse him. Number 4. Known for pioneering the smooth, harmonious pop vocal style. Their songs often featured a deep-voiced spoken interlude. That sounds interesting. They had a significant influence on the doo-wop and rhythm and blues that were to come. A famous hit wonders about someone's level of concern. I love these clues. What is that? If I Didn't Care became their signature ballad. If I Didn't Care. Anybody know who these guys are? They were around forever. Forever. And then they actually, a version of them, I don't know if it was kids or what, came back even, I don't know, 90s. Anybody know who this is? Their unique vocal blend paved the way for groups like the Platters. These are guys are pre-Platters. This is the pre-Platters. This is the ink spots. Ink spots, right? Something you don't want on your shirt. The ink spots. You have a funny name for a black group, right? Excuse me there. All right, we're down to the top 3. Top 3. At number 3, his deep baritone voice was both powerful and smooth. The Belmonts. I don't even know who the Belmonts are, but I'm going to look that up. This guy broke barriers by leading one of the first major integrated big bands. He was a leader. Known for his romantic ballads and sophisticated stage presence. One of his hits contemplates the fate of love-struck captive. A love-struck captive. Oh, so the song's name was Prisoner of Love. Prisoner of Love was one of the most memorable songs from Mr. His suave image and rich voice earned him the nickname Mr. B. Mr. B. Anybody know? Who's Mr. B? Fairly famous name. Billy Eckstein. Billy Eckstein. That sound familiar to anybody? Billy Eckstein's suave image and rich voice earned him the nickname Mr. B. There you go. That puts us down to the top two musical artists of the 30s and 40s. Mr. T. This is Mr. B. Didn't look much like Mr. T. Really didn't. I have to say it didn't. All right, this is a group. Here's your first clue. Masters of vocal harmony. They could imitate musical instruments with their voices. Their smooth style crossed over from jazz to pop seamlessly. Their most iconic song features a lightweight material. Oh, yes, it does. I love these clips. One hit features a character who's described as flat and decorative. The funniest post. So, the song's name was Paper Doll. Paper Doll was a massive hit that cemented their legacy. These guys were big. Very big. Anybody know who those guys are? They're number 2 on the robots list. Yes, I pity the fools too. This is the Mills Brothers. Anybody heard of the Mills Brothers? The Mills Brothers were the first African American artists to have a national radio show. They had their own show. Mills Brothers. Can't believe you guys didn't know that. All right. The doctor probably knows the answer to this one. This is a cool picture. Focus on the picture. And tell me what the picture represents. The most popular big band of the World War II era. Known for tight arrangements and a smooth, danceable swing sound. They continued to perform even after his tragic disappearance. The band later disappeared. A famous song evokes a joyful, upbeat mood. The doctor should know. Yeah. There you go. This is the Glenn Miller Orchestra. In the Mood became an anthem for the swing generation. The Glenn Miller Orchestra continued to tour and record long after Glenn Miller's death, keeping his music alive. Now, what's this a picture of? Anybody know what this is a picture of? It's pretty cool. I guess it is a robot painting, so it's a little hard to tell. Well, you got to take a pause for the cause. I'm glad you knew the Mills Brothers. That was the green room at one of these cool places, and they were all cramped in the green room, and the green room had signatures all over the walls, on every wall, and it was all green. So it's very cool. This is from my when I used to own the Blues Club. I think some of you heard that once before, that I used to be an owner of a blues club for a short period of time. A co-owner. All right, man. Well, it was pretty fun. I mean, we're glad the doctor was with us. We're very glad the doctor was here. We're glad the doctor was in the house. You never know when you're going to need a doctor in the house. Yeah. It was a really, really cool green room. Yeah. So next one's going to be maybe a little hard, although try to loosen up. We're going to do top 20 ancient cultures that existed before the start of the Common Era. So that just means before the year 0, right? Anything BC is what we're looking for. And we're looking for the most prominent ancient cultures, the ones that had the most significant impact on history. And we're just looking for you to name the culture. And the picture is going to basically try to be the best representation of that culture. So, okay, enough qualification. Good. You guys know the rules. Robots do the painting, you do the guessing, and I drop the clues. So let's play. Now, once again, we're doing the top 20 ancient cultures that existed before the start of the Common Era. There it is. We're going to start at number 20, conveniently enough. And again, this picture is the one that best represents that culture. So in some cases, it could be a building, ruins, could be a map, could be a sculpture, who knows? This ancient culture thrived on a Mediterranean island famous for myths and palaces. They are often considered Europe's first advanced civilization. Their art and architecture features bowls and elaborate maze-like structures. One famous legend tells of a creature that was half man, half bull. Now, this culture was centered on the island of Crete. They are linked to the myth of the Minotaur. All right, you guys the doctor kind of had it, and I think Rhombus was closer. Rhombus is correct. Yes, and I know you had it. Their elaborate palaces, like Knossos, had advanced plumbing systems. Wow. So yeah, this looks like a pretty cool building. The red columns and all the mosaics and stuff. Looks pretty cool, right? Minoan civilization. All the way back 3000 BC. So yeah, way back when. All right, well, you know how the game's played. You did good. You got that one. I bet you get this one too. Now, these guys are considered the mother culture of Mesoamerica. And if you're paying attention to my channel, you'd know all about it. They're known for crafting colossal stone heads that weigh several tons. Their influence shaped later cultures like the Maya and the Aztec. They lived in the region now known as southern Mexico. These giant heads often featured distinct helmets. They all had different helmets. Very good, Doctor. Very good. You are correct. Some scholars speculate the heads may depict ancient ball players. So I think that the ball games were very important to these guys. And of course, I can't remember whether it's the winning team or the losing team that gets sacrificed. I guess if you were playing, you would try to get that straightened around beforehand. Should I be winning or should I be losing? This is indeed the Olmec. Now, they're not quite as far back. They're, 1500 to 400 BC. They were BC, but, just a little bit BC. They're just a little BC. Olmec civilization. There you go. Head Morpheus. Number 18. Is that from a video game or something? I don't know what that's from. All right, this one might be a little harder because the picture's not as good. Not as much contrast. An ancient maritime power with a strong hold in North Africa. Now, that should help. They were founded by Phoenician settlers who valued trade and seafaring. So these were some Phoenicians that ended up landing this place and they decided to stay there. They fought a series of wars against a rising Mediterranean power. One general famously crossed the Alps with war elephants. This is the civilization that had the war elephants. I don't know where they got them. They didn't come from their area. They were eventually destroyed by Rome, though, after the Punic Wars. Yeah. And so what would you call that civilization, Doctor? If the place is Carthage, they are the... What civilization? They are the Carthaginian civilization, of course. I think we'll have to accept your answer. 800 to 146 BC. The city of Carthage was famously cursed by the Romans to ensure it would never rise again. Well, that ought to take care of it. All right, number 17. Old cultures. You guys are doing good. You guys are doing great. The first advanced civilization on mainland Greece. What was the first civilization on mainland Greece? Known for its impressive palatial centers and fortified cities. They were associated with epic tales of a legendary siege. Oh, yes. Their society is depicted in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. This civilization is linked to the Trojan War and the story of Agamemnon, not the Phoenicians. Phoenicians may come up, I can't remember. I can't remember if the Phoenicians come up or not. So the doctor has the right answer. The spelling is pretty far off, but we're going to give him credit. This is indeed the Mycenaean civilization, Mycenaean. Mycenaean civilization, pre-Greece, essentially, 1600 to 1100 BC. So way back when. Their script, Linear B, was an early form of Greek writing. Linear B. I don't know what that is. All right, number 16. You guys are doing great. You guys got this. Madame's in the house to help us with the ancient civilizations. We're looking for civilizations names, and the picture best represents that civilization. Originating in what is now Turkey, they rivaled ancient Egypt. Known for their skill in ironworking and chariot warfare. Well, they had that going for them. That's pretty cool. They signed one of the world's oldest known peace treaties. Their capital, Hattusa, contained monumental gates and lion statues. They famously clashed with Ramses II at the Battle of Kadesh. This is them. This is like a sculptural relief that best represents this culture. There you go. That's pretty good. Once again, a little iffy on the spelling, but I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? About Hittite. Hittite. You're missing a T in there. Hittite civilization. There you go. The Treaty of Kadesh is often considered the first recorded peace treaty. There you go. They got that going for them. Now, this one surprised me a lot. It did. This is located south of Egypt, along the Nile, in modern Sudan. This is in Sudan. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk? I don't know what happened to them. Known for powerful queens called candates. 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 Kandakes. I don't know what that is. Their monuments rivaled those of their northern neighbors. They once conquered Egypt, forming the 25th dynasty. They're famous for their own pyramids. They're famous for their own pyramids. In the Sudan. Who knew? Who knew? Who is this? There you go. Yes, that's, yeah, okay. Okay. Which civilization is it? Nubia. Okay, good. Yeah, Nubia Plus. Very good. This is the Nubian Kushite civilization. Nubian / Kushite. Nubian pharaohs ruled Egypt during the period known as the Kushite dynasty, 25th dynasty, 2500 BC to 350 BC. So this is like, they ruled Egypt just after the pyramids were built? Weird. Never knew. Okay, learn something every day on Days After Dark. Number 14. Renowned for their fierce military conquests and brutal tactics, they built one of the largest empires of the ancient Near East. Their capital, Nineveh, housed a grand library. Once again, a sculptural relief to demonstrate the culture. Known for relief sculptures depicting battle scenes and lion hunts, they ultimately fell to a coalition led by the Babylonians. So these are the guys that fell to the Babylonians. I think you know these guys. This is 2500 to 600 BC. Very good, Madao. Very good. The library of Ashurbanipal in Nineveh, that's all hard to say. Ashurbanipal in Nineveh contained thousands of cuneiform texts. Well, that's interesting. You know the cuneiform, those little marks? Cuneiform. Assyrian Empire. There you go. There they are. That's them. Look at those beards. They had the braided beards. Very cool. All right, these guys did make an appearance. I thought they might have. I think Rhombus might have mentioned these guys. That helps. Master Mariners. Once again, a relief sculpture. Master mariners who spread their culture through trade. They are credited with developing one of the earliest alphabets. They established influential colonies throughout the Mediterranean. Yeah, of course, Rhombus. Now it's time for the Phoenicians. Their purple dye was highly prized, and that's what made it linked to royalty. So they're the purple dye people. And of course, they were all over the Mediterranean, right? And they founded the city of Carthage. So they had that going for them too. The word Phoenician is derived from the Greek word for purple. Who knew? Phoenicians, they had cool boats. Yeah. Phoenician civilization was around from 1500 to 300 BCE. They were like in Israel and Lebanon too, so they were in different places along the Mediterranean. Phoenicians. Checking in at number 13. Takes us down to number 12. All right, you've heard of these guys too. Now, this is older. This This is 4500 BC. Okay? One of the earliest known civilizations, emerging in Mesopotamia. Okay? This is like a mosaic, I believe. It's a mosaic on a tomb. They pioneered writing and cuneiform on clay tablets. These are the first guys. Yeah, you know, Rhombus. So they had city-states, right? Uruk, and Lagash. Uruk, and Lagash were city-states. They built step pyramids. They were those step pyramid people. They were called ziggurats, right? And then, if you remember, they created the story, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is like one of the first histories, right? First known literary works. Sumerians is correct. Sumerian civilization. Sumerians were among the first to develop a form of beer. So that's important. Anyway, yeah, this is the mosaic, I think, on the outside of that one tomb that they always show us. I think on Wikipedia, they show us the tomb. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're down to number 11. So you guys are cranking. As a team, you're undefeated. This is a little bit interesting. Established a kingdom with Jerusalem as the spiritual center. This is from 1200 to 587 BCE. So that 587 might be a key date. Their sacred texts form a major part of the Hebrew Bible. They are famous for kings like, here they are, David and Solomon. So which civilization were David and Solomon part of? They were conquered and exiled by the Babylonians in 587. Their religious traditions shaped later Abrahamic faiths. Well, so Judea, that might be one way of saying it. This is pre any of that stuff. So this is known as the ancient Israelite civilization, right? This is kind of pre-Judaic. David and Solomon, ancient Israelite. They were Israelites. The Ark of the Covenant was believed to house sacred relics, including the Ten Commandments. There you go. Where it all started. All right, that takes us to the top 10 ancient cultures. I don't know how the robots rated them. Essentially, I think it's just 10. 10 more. We got 10 more ancient cultures. Here we go. This is a sculpture. An ancient civilization that flourished in what is now modern Italy. Now, they were kind of pre-Roman. Their culture greatly influenced the early Romans, especially in religion and architecture. They were known for elaborate tombs decorated with vibrant wall paintings. Their society was organized into city-states, much like the Greeks and the Sumerians. We just learned that. They left behind mysterious inscriptions that scholars still study today. So who was pre-Rome? Who was pre-Rome in Italy? I think we know this, don't we? Pre-Rome. Anybody know? Yeah, basically Romans followed what these guys were already doing with architecture and art and everything. This is the Etruscans. The Etruscan civilization. The Etruscans introduced the use of the arch in construction and later was adopted by the Romans. I don't know if they were responsible for concrete also, but anyway, they were pre-Roman. There you go, the Etruscans with an E. All right, this next one's gonna be hard to get from the picture, so let's look with the clues. A diverse group of tribal societies spread across Europe. Tribal societies spread across Europe, known for their oral traditions and intricate metalwork. They were fierce warriors who famously resisted Roman expansion everywhere. Their spiritual leaders were called Druids, and they held significant social power. They were associated with stone monuments like those found at Stonehenge. So Goths is a good guess, but these guys were actually called something different that you might only associate with the British Isles, but it was not just British Isles, it was all of Europe, where, yeah, exactly, games is in the house, helping the team. Oh, Doctor had it too, and the Doctor as well. Fantastic. It is the Celtic civilization, the Celts. The Celts loved storytelling and crafted epic tales of heroes and gods. And there they are, the stories of the heroes and gods. Okay. Told you the picture would be hard. All right, number 8. Number 8. 550 to 330 BC, so they didn't last long. They were founded by a leader who was known for his tolerance and diplomatic rule. They expanded to become the largest empire of its time, spanning 3 continents, famous for monumental architecture at Persepolis. And that's what you see here is the monumental architecture at Persepolis. The road system improved communication and trade throughout the empire. Who knows who this is? Which civilization or empire is this? Cyrus the Great and Darius were 2 of their most notable rulers. Visigoth, I like that. That was up north. This is at Persepolis. I don't know if you know where Persepolis is, but it's in the desert. It's in the desert. It was probably on one of those rivers originally. Those in Mesopotamia. It's not the Moors. This empire's postal system inspired the phrase, neither snow nor rain. Oh, there you go. There's a little known fact. Believe it or not, this is the Persian Empire. The Persian Empire. Persepolis. Down in Iran. I walked, slept. Mostly I ran. Number 7. Yeah, you've heard of these guys. Famous for its legendary gardens, which was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This is home to one of the earliest written legal codes. Bonus points if you name what that is. What's one of the early legal codes? A center of astronomy and mathematics in the ancient world. Oh, Doctor had it. Good job, Doctor. I'm glad to see we got lots of answers coming in. There you go. Everybody's getting the right answer to this one too. You got both answers correct. The Hammurabi's Code, right? Hammurabi remains one of the oldest deciphered legal texts. And this is, of course, the Babylonians, the Babylonian civilization. It was Babylonia's hanging gardens that may have been, they may have been purely mythical, as nobody's come up with any definitive evidence that they actually existed. Well, come on. I mean, why not? It probably existed. Probably existed. Why not? Anyway, this is the gates to Babylon or something that they've recreated, I think. Yeah. Number 6. All right. You know these guys. This is 800 to 146 BC. Known for pioneering democracy, philosophy, and epic poetry. They're also known for pioneering They are also city-states like Athens and Sparta. Their mythology included gods like Zeus, Athena, and Apollo. There you go, Rhombus. Playing the game well. They laid the groundwork for Western philosophy with thinkers like Socrates and Plato. The Olympic Games originated in this civilization. Who is the ancient Greek civilization, of course? Rhombus has it. The Greeks believed Mount Olympus was the home of their gods. Now, did they really believe that? Because they were awful smart about a lot of stuff. Like, how much of that God stuff did they really believe? Seems like that might have been like stories to control the masses. Kind of like we're involved in these days. You got to have some fables to control the masses. All right. We got the top 5 civilizations coming at you. Now, I got to tell you, I don't think I've heard of this name of this civilization, but I've heard of the leader. One of the ancient India's largest and most powerful empires. It was founded by Chandragupta, who united much of the Indian subcontinent. His grandson promoted Buddhism and inscribed edicts on stone pillars. There's lots of edicts on these pillars here. The empire thrived under a philosophy of nonviolence and tolerance. Now, this is the name I remember. Ashoka the Great is remembered for his peaceful transformation. Ashoka's lion emblem is now the national symbol of India. Did you know that? How about that? So anybody know? It's not the Brahmin civilization. I hadn't heard of this, so I don't blame you if you don't get it. There you go. Very good, Doctor. And you're close on the spelling. You're in the ballpark. In the ballpark. This is from 322 to 185 BC, and this is known as the Mauran, Mauryan. So you were close. Ashoka's lion emblem is now the national symbol of India. There you go. 4 more to go. 4 more ancient empires or civilizations. You know these guys. They were ruled by powerful pharaohs who were considered living gods. They built monumental structures, including pyramids and grand temples. Their hieroglyphic writing system decorated tombs and monuments. Yes. Of course. Madao, you are correct. They practice mummification to preserve bodies for the afterlife. The Great Pyramid of Giza remains one of the 7 wonders still standing. Still standing after all these years. I'm still standing. We're not doing music, right, though? The Sphinx is a giant stone creature with a lion body and a human head, and he still guards the pyramids. Did you know that was his purpose? That's right, this is the ancient Egyptian civilization. You know, they were around all the way from 3100 BC to 30 BC. And then they kind of got, taken over in 30 BC. It's those damn Romans, I think. Damn Romans. Took over everything. Top three. Now, this one, this is kind of a generic one, okay? Think generic. These folks developed one of the world's oldest continuous cultures. Their earliest writing is found on oracle bones used for divination. Okay. They introduced major philosophies like Confucianism and Taoism. Confucianism and Taoism. They were advanced in bronze metallurgy. There you go, bronze metallurgy. And they built large walled cities. Yeah, of course. You're correct. Meadow, Doctor, you are correct. And Alex, you were correct at what we're seeing. We are seeing the terracotta army there, aren't we? The Zhao dynasty saw the rise of the concept of mandate of heaven. The Xi dynasty is often considered legendary due to its limited archaeological evidence. There you go. Ancient Chinese civilization, 2000 to 256 BC. So they really didn't get civilized until 2000. All right, top two most important ancient cultures. Okay. These guys were from 500 BC all the way to 476 CE or AD. So I don't know if they qualify for our category. But they expanded from a small city-state to dominate the Mediterranean world. They were known for engineering marvels like aqueducts and roads. They transitioned from a republic to an empire under Augustus. Julius Caesar's rise and fall marked a pivotal turning point. Yes. Alex. Hello. You are both correct. The phrase "all roads lead to Rome" reflects their vast network infrastructure. All roads lead to Rome. The fall of the Roman Empire in 476 CE, or AD as some of us like to say, marked the end of the ancient world and the beginning of the Middle Ages. There it is. That was the line. Fall of the Roman Empire. Start of the Dark Ages. I guess they call them Middle Ages. They don't call them Dark. Dark Ages were later, right? They're kind of in the middle of the Middle Ages. All right. So we're down to one more civilization. Might surprise you. Here's the key clue. I think this might be a sculptural relief again. Often called the cradle of civilization for its early developments. What's the cradle of civilization? It was located between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers in modern Iraq. They pioneered writing with cuneiform script. They built the first cities like Uruk, where the Epic of Gilgamesh was set. So these are well, not exactly rhombus. There you go. Now Dal's got the answer I'm looking for. This is more, well, I guess I was looking for more of the master civilization. Sumerians were a subset, right? The Sumerians developed a base 60 number system which still influences how we tell time. So yes, kind of the same thing. Sorry. Robots, robots try to throw you curveballs. This is the ancient Mesopotamian civilization, which contains the Sumerians. Okay. Oh, we tried to fool you. We tried to fool you. You guys did good. I was surprised. I'm surprised. Shocked. I'm not shocked. We've learned it all here on my show over the year. All right, you guys ready to do a little bit harder one? So this film noir. The film noir is going to be a little bit hard. So I hope you're ready. So glitchy. All right. You know the rules. Robots paint, you guess, I drop the clue. Let's play. We are going to try to guess the top 20 movie examples of Hollywood film noir. Okay. Here we go. Number 20. This is starting all the way back in 1948, okay? A tense thriller set inside a sprawling, high-powered publishing office. The protagonist is a crime magazine editor with a knack for solving mysteries. Things get personal when he finds himself framed for murder. Does sound like the typical noir story. Stuart's in the house. Okay, Stuart, we're going to lean on you for the film noir. Going to lean on you heavily here. He must navigate a labyrinth of clues within his own office to clear his name. This movie stars Ray Milland as a man trying to solve the crime before time runs out. There's the key clue. There's the key clue. He's trying to solve the crime before time runs out. The film's real star is the massive Art Deco clock at the center of the office. The Thin Man. That's a good guess. Incorrect. So this is pretty simple, right? This was just called The Big Clock. The Big Clock. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Anyone? The Big Clock. That was number 20. All right. Sounds like the same story on all these. Number 19. A young couple on the run is torn between love and crime. Cool. One of the first noir films to explore doomed romance. It's directed by Nicholas Roy, who brought a tender touch to the story. Okay. Well, she's giving him a little massage there. In case you guys can't tell what's going on there, give him a little massage. Not 39 steps. Not running scared. Not the Thin Man. Their desperate journey showcases the bleakness of the American dream. It is considered a predecessor to Bonnie and Clyde. So Bonnie and Clyde was kind of loosely based on this movie, this Noir. Noir. The film's tagline, "This boy and this girl were never properly introduced to the world we live in," perfectly captures its mood. What was the other one? Natural Born Killers. Natural Born sounds like a Natural Born Killers predecessor. They Live by the Night is what it was called. They Live by the Night. Sounds pretty cool. You guys like Natural Born Killers? Pretty cool movie, huh? Yeah. Kind of different. A little violent. My favorite Rodney Dangerfield movie. All right, number 18. A low-budget gem hailed as one of the grittiest noirs of all time. The protagonist is a hapless pianist hitchhiking across the country. Woody. Juliette Lewis. His journey spirals into a nightmare of bad luck and fatalism. Fate turns cruel when he ends up implicated for murder. Bummer. It's known for its stark atmosphere, like all noirs, and Al Roberts' doomed narration. You got to have some doomed narration. That sounds pretty cool. Gumshoe Blues is incorrect. I like that name though. That's a good one. The film's tagline, he went searching for love, but fate forced a... He went searching for love, but fate forced a detour. Fate forced a detour. There you go. Detour. All right. We're going to get easier. Maybe. Maybe. Number 17. I've heard of this one. That helps. A love triangle wrapped in a heist film. Burt Lancaster plays a man caught between his ex-wife and a crime boss. Yeah, that'll be a problem. So Burt Lancaster was in a few of these film noirs. Betrayal and double crosses. Betrayal and double crosses are central themes. The tension builds as trust dissolves into treachery. Any guesses? Trying to give you a little clue there. Betrayal and double crosses are central themes. The film features an early appearance by Tony Curtis as a jitterbug dancer. Okay, that's cool. Anybody know? Any guesses? 1949. Does that help? Burt Lancaster. Love triangle. Tension builds. It's called Crisscross. Crisscross. No? Not familiar? All right. Now, I think you've heard of the next one. And it features my favorite actress of the Golden Age. My favorite actress of the Golden Age. Attractive lady. Based on an Ernest Hemingway short story. Burt Lancaster again makes his screen debut as a doomed boxer. The story unfolds through flashbacks after a brutal assassination. Noir meets existentialism as the truth about betrayal unravels. Here's the key clue. Ava Gardner plays a layer of femme fatale intrigue. There you go, Stuart. There you go, Ava Gardner. That's one hottie. And I love her connection to Ernest Hemingway. I love Hemingway. So I love all his stories. The sun also rises and all that. Yeah. The film's opening scene is a near perfect adaptation of Hemingway's story. Cool. The Killers. Ava Gardner. Burt Lancaster. Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to count that as a victory there. I think you'll get this next one too. Number 15. A love-hate relationship set in a South American casino. We all know about our South American casinos. Here's the key. Rita Hayworth's iconic performance as a femme fatale. The chemistry between her and Glenn Ford sizzles. Not Casablanca. No, no, no. It is not. Sorry, I have a distracting light behind me. A famous musical number involves a sultry rendition of Put the Blame on Mame. The line, hate is a very exciting emotion, sums up the toxic romance. So this is all about Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth's hair flip when singing became one of cinema's most memorable moments. Let's see. Rita Hayworth always used to say when she was dating that the men would go to bed with this person and wake up with me. Gilda. Everybody loved Gilda, the femme fatale. Gilda was the name of the movie. And it was Rita Hayworth's big moment. All right, here we go. Number 14. A detective with a dark past tries to start over. Robert Mitchum delivers a laid-back but haunted performance. Double crosses and flashbacks make the story twist and turn. The femme fatale, played by Jane Greer, embodies danger and deceit. Not loose cannon. The film's brooding tone and complex narrative define classic noir. The robots are having a little trouble painting the highlights there. Its French title, La Griffe du Passé. I did not say that right. The Claw of the Past. The Claw of the Past captures the film's fatalistic theme. The Claw of the Past. Oh, there you go. Doctor has it. Very good. Awesome. Good job, Doctor. Out of the Past is correct, of course. Out of the Past. Very good. All right. 13. A desperate hustler tries to make it big in London's underworld. Okay, Richard Widmark. You guys remember Richard Widmark? He was big in these noirs. Richard Widmark gives a frantic, nervy performance. The film's shadowy alleyways and neon-lit clubs add to the noir atmosphere. It's a story of ambition turned to desperation. The grim ending reinforces the classic noir theme of inevitable downfall. The theme of inevitable downfall. Oh, not Untouchables. The film's location in London, the setting gives it a unique, gritty edge compared to typical Hollywood noir. So there you go. A little different feel being in London. Anybody know the name of that building in the background there in London? I believe it's a cathedral. This is Night and the City. Night in the City. This is 1950, so this is, more recent. All right. All right. Next up, number 12. I told you they'd be hard. That's okay. We're learning something. This is important stuff. Important stuff. A cop seeks revenge after his wife is killed by a car bomb. Well, yeah, that would piss you off. Sounds like the theme of lots of other movies. It's directed by a guy named Fritz Lang, known for his dark, brutal storytelling. That's good for noirs. Gloria Graham shines as a tragic yet resilient character. The film exposes the corrupt underbelly of the police force. Sounds familiar. And here we go. Here's another new actor, Lee Marvin. His performance as a sadistic thug is unforgettable. He probably never got away from that. Not Public Enemy #1. No, this is 1953. Lee Marvin, Fritz Lang. Wife is killed by a car bomb. A pot of hot coffee becomes a symbol of violence and betrayal. Of course. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? This was called The Big Heat. The Big Heat, 1953. All right, now this next one's a little more famous. You may have heard of it. You may have heard of it. I've heard of it. 1944. A detective becomes obsessed with the portrait of a murdered woman. As the investigation deepens, so does his infatuation. Gene Tierney's ethereal presence as Laura haunts every frame. You guys remember Gene Tierney at all? She's a hottie. Gene Tierney. She's rumored to have a affair with JFK also, in addition to Marilyn Monroe. JFK girl. The plot takes a sharp twist when Laura unexpectedly reappears. That would be a twist. A Lady in the Frame is not the name of the movie, but sounds like conceptually correct. That is conceptually correct. Maybe that was the name of the book. The haunting theme music became one of film noir's most iconic scores. So the music defines the noir. The film's tagline, the story of a love that became a legend, hints at mysterious allure. This was called Laura. Just the name Laura. Okay? There you go. Hang on to that double indemnity. That may come up. Doctors being clairvoyant again. Not right now. Doctors being clairvoyant again. Next up, number 10. A brutal, hard-boiled detective story that pushes the boundaries of noir. Introduces a mysterious glowing box hinting at Cold War paranoia. Mike Hammer, the private eye, uncovers a conspiracy darker than he imagined. The film's violent, cynical tone reflects the atomic age. Its apocalyptic ending, I like this, left audiences both shocked and intrigued. Yeah, I guess. If you're making this movie during the Cold War and you show an apocalyptic end, that sounds sketchy. The eerie glowing box inspired similar plot devices in later films, like Pulp Fiction. Anybody know the name of this one? Hang on to that, Doctor. We're not quite ready for it yet. Anybody know? This was called Kiss Me Deadly. Kiss Me Deadly, and it sounds awesome. We're gonna all have to go watch this. Maybe next live show we'll just put that on and we'll have chat. How's that sound? That sound fun? Let's just do that. Sounds easier. All right, Doctor, you're up. A twisted tale of insurance fraud and murder. Billy Wilder's script set the standard for femme fatale trope. Barbara Stanwyck plays one of the cinema's most notorious manipulators. Barbara Stanwyck makes her appearance. Oh, and guess who else? Fred McMurray. His voiceover narration sets a grim, reflective tone. It's very good, Doctor. The line, "I killed him for money and for a woman," perfectly captures the noir essence. Yeah, My Three Sons. Except this wasn't My Three Sons, but same guy. And Big Valley, right? Barbara Stanwyck, Big Valley. Other TV shows. Maybe they both got their TV series from this movie. Wilder insists on casting against type, making McMurray step out of his usual nice guy roles. Yeah, there you go. Double Indemnity. He's not a nice guy in this one. A twisted tale of insurance fraud and murder. There you go. All right, you're gonna know the next one. Okay, how's that sound? Sound good? See if you can get this. You can get this just from the picture, I bet you. This one is often considered the first major film noir. This is the first one, 1941. First major film noir. Humphrey Bogart stars as the hard-boiled detective Sam Spade. Sam Spade, hard-boiled. A mysterious blackbird becomes the obsession of ruthless characters. John Huston's direction laid the foundation for noir's visual style. Not Casablanca, but good cast by now. Doctor knows. Stewart knows. Can you see the shadow there? The iconic line, "The stuff that dreams are made of," sums up the elusive quest. The statuette used in the film sold at auction for over $4 million in 2013. There you go, a little wooden carved falcon, or is it supposed to be metal? I'm not sure. Maltese falcon. First major film noir. There you go. Checking in at number 8 on our top Hollywood film noir. All right, 7 more. We're going to make it. I think. Pretty sure. Now, this is quite a bit later. This is 1958. Orson Welles directs and stars as a morally corrupt cop. The opening tracking shot is one of cinema's most celebrated sequences. Opening tracking shot. It's set on a seedy U.S.-Mexico border town. The film oozes atmosphere. Charlton Heston plays a Mexican narcotics officer investigating a car bombing. The themes of corruption and betrayal make it a quintessential late noir. Third Man is incorrect. Incorrect. I like that. Third Man. I've heard of that. That's not the Third Man. That's the Big Man. That's the Big Man. Wells directed the film reluctantly, but ended up crafting a masterpiece. This is called Touch of Evil, 1958. Touch of Evil. Citizen Kane, good answer. Good movie. Citizen Kane. All right, we got 6 more. Touch of Evil, in case you were keeping a score. Number 6. A Cold War noir blending espionage and crime. Can't really see it. Here we go. Richard Widmark again. Richard Widmark stars as a pickpocket who accidentally steals microfilm. Oops. Picked the wrong pocket. The plot thickens as spies and cops hunt him down. Samuel Fuller's gritty direction adds a raw, urban edge. The film's paranoid atmosphere mirrors the tense political climate of the 1950s. I think these are a little hard with just a still image, right? You'd like to see like a little clip. I don't know. Maybe we can advance to something more. The film was initially criticized for being unpatriotic during the Red Scare. A Cold War noir, blending espionage and crime. Picked the wrong pocket, got the microfilm, set him up for trouble. This is called Pickup on South Street. Pickup on South Street, 1953. Right at the height of the Cold War. Pickup on South Street. All right, top 5. Here we go. Here we go. 1950. And Humphrey Bogart plays a troubled screenwriter with a violent streak. Nice. The film blends romance with a murder investigation. His relationship with his neighbor, played by Gloria Graham, becomes increasingly strained. As suspicion grows, so does the sense of paranoia. The question of whether Bogart's character is a killer keeps the tension high. Bogart's portrayal is one of his most nuanced and disturbing performances ever. All right. So that sounds hard again. 1950. Humphrey Bogart's most disturbing role. There you go. What's it called? No guesses. Okay. It's all right. So, In a Lonely Place. In a Lonely Place. There you go. 1950. There he is. 4 more. 4 more. Harder than you thought, huh? These film noirs. We thought we knew these. Directed by Fritz Lang again, master of dark psychological dramas, a meek cashier falls for a manipulative femme fatale. Those femme fatales, man, they'll be the death of you. His obsession leads to crime, humiliation, and ultimate despair. This one has an interesting part. Oh, we're going to talk about it here. The bleak ending leaves no room for redemption. No room for redemption. Hate that. All right, so here's the key clue. Edward G. Robinson, his portrayal of a hapless romantic is both tragic and haunting. So Edward G. Robinson, I don't know if you guys remember who that is. He used to play lots of criminals and stuff. Hey, Christina, what's going on? What's going on? Edward G. Robinson, I don't know if you remember him. But anyway, it sounds like an interesting role where he gets taken advantage of by the femme fatale. And it's a sad, tragic, and haunting. The film was controversial for its bleak portrayal of human nature. Called Scarlet Street, all the way back in 1945. Edward G. Robinson. There you go. All right, we got 3 more. Yeah, sorry these are so difficult. Yeah, Key Largo. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. I guess that's not a classic film noir. You'll be surprised by number 1. It's more contemporary. But here's number 3. More of a noir flavored drama than a crime film. Tony Curtis plays a desperate press agent willing to do anything for publicity. And here he is again. Burt Lancaster is a ruthless columnist who manipulates everyone around him. The dialogue crackles with venom and wit, showcasing New York's dark side. Themes of power, betrayal, and ambition dominate the plot. So it's Tony Curtis, Burt Lancaster. No? The film's scathing critique of media ethics makes it feel surprisingly modern. Not political commentary around here. We never do political commentary here at Caves After Dark. Very subtle. Sweet Smell of Success. The name of the movie? Sweet Smell of Success, 1957. Top 2. Now, I think you know both of these. So, you would have guessed maybe this one as a classic noir being the top film. Number 2. 1950. A faded film star dreams of a comeback while trapped in a fantasy world. William Holden plays a struggling screenwriter who becomes her reluctant companion. Gloria Swanson's portrayal of Norma Desmond is both tragic and terrifying. Very good, Stuart. You know this one. It looks great. I've never watched it all the way through. I've seen little bits of it. The film's opening scene, narrated by a dead man, sets a grim tone. Sounds like a grim tone. The iconic line, "I am big. It's the pictures that got small," captures Hollywood's ruthlessness. Real silent film star Buster Keaton appears in a poker game scene as himself. Interesting. Oh, it has a dark noir ending, does it? Good. Sunset Boulevard is correct. Let's do it at it. Very good. All right, so you're pretty good at the 70s, Christina? Here we go. Making the list on film noir, despite its 1974 date, a neo-noir, it's a neo-noir that masterfully blends classic noir elements with modern storytelling. Jack Nicholson plays Private Eye Jake Geddes, unraveling a water company conspiracy. It's a good story. Faye Dunaway's character is shrouded in secrets and tragedy. Yeah, you can kind of tell that's who that is there. Come on, robots, help us out. The plot twists reveal corruption that cuts deep into family and politics. Roman Polanski's direction makes every frame atmospheric and tense. Yeah, every frame, every scene is like one of those classic sets, you know? Like very artistic. Hey, remember what this was called? It's 1974. It's not black and white. It's in color. The movie's in color. This picture's just in black and white. We had to keep with the noir theme. The unforgettable line, "Jake, it's Chinatown," perfectly encapsulates the film's bleak worldview. Yes, Rhombus, you are correct. Chinatown, 1974. Jack Nicholson. Anyway, those were tough. But you know, they're on theme for my channel, so we had to do them. We had to do something on theme. All right, well, let's see who. You guys were late, Christina, Stuart. You guys want to do bonus round, or I don't know if Rhombus is up for it. I do have a bonus round. Let me tell you what it is. It is top 20 epic historical films in history. So it's historical films that were like historical epics, and there's 20 of them. So if you want to do that, we can do it. Otherwise, we can save it for next time, and we can move on. Okay, Rhombus is in. We need a second, though. We do need a second. Oh, Maddow. Madow's hiding in the background, and he's in for it. So here we go. You guys ready? Let's fire it up. You guys need a break, or are you good? Good to go? You only have another second to tell me if you need a break. I'm good to go. All right, we're going. All right, by now you know the rules. Robots paint, you guess. I drop the clues. Once again, we are going to be counting down the top 20 epic historical films in history. I'm going to go ahead and give you the year on this to help out a little. 2004. 2004. This epic follows one of history's most famous military leaders. It was directed by Oliver Stone. The film focuses on the conquest of much of the known world. Colin Farrell stars as the titular figure with blonde hair and piercing eyes. There you go. This is a lot easier, isn't it? This is a lot easier. The film's title is the name of the great Macedonian king. Now, did you know he was Macedonian? He wasn't Greek, he was Macedonian. The movie features one of the longest battle sequences in Hollywood history. The Battle of Gaugamela. There you go. Alexander is correct. Alexander. There he is. On horseback. All right. That's number 20. They get harder. That was pretty easy. That was a gimme. That was a gimme. All right, number 19. This biblical epic retells one of the most famous stories from the Old Testament. It features Kristen Bale as a leader defying a powerful pharaoh. The film portrays plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, and divine intervention. And it is directed by Ridley Scott. So this is where we've seen this movie before. Known for creating visually stunning epics, the title refers to the departure of the Israelites. There's those Israelites again from Egypt. Very good. Very good, Stuart. And yeah, Christina had one of the characters for sure. That's right. Exodus, Gods and Kings. Exodus, Gods and Kings. The film used advanced CGI to recreate the plagues, including a breathtaking locust swarm. You guys remember the locust swarm? It was breathtaking. Odd choice of words. Odd choice of words. All right, that's number 19. Here we are, number 18. Oh, another Ridley Scott. Why not? Why the hell not? Historical epics. This Ridley Scott directed epic focuses on a blacksmith's journey to knighthood. It's set during the Crusades and explores the conflicts between Christians and Muslims. Gonna move to Canada. Oh, for the internet. Orlando Bloom stars as the lead. We have kind of bad weather here, so there might be a little delay on my end even tonight. We have a little, it's springtime in the South. The title alludes to a piece of religious importance in the Middle Ages. It's such a cool picture, right? Am I right? The man, yeah, it looks like the man in the Iron Mask. He has like a mask, but it's not the man in the Iron Mask. Stuart has the answer. Yeah. Who's going to be the governor of Canada, though? That's the only question. You could run for governor, Stuart. We jest. The film's director's cut received much higher praise than the theatrical version. Of course, that was Kingdom of Heaven. All right, number 17. Now, I'm looking for the modern version, the remake. This film is a modern remake of a classic Hollywood epic. It tells the story of a Jewish prince betrayed by his Roman friend. The movie includes high-stakes chariot race as a central scene. It's based on a famous novel by Lew Wallace. There you go, Rhombus, Madel. Correct. And this is the updated version, which I gotta be honest, I haven't seen it. I need to watch this. I've seen the original. I haven't seen the new one. It's supposed to be good, right? Did you guys see it? Is it good? The title characters has become synonymous with cinematic spectacle. The original, in 1959, won a record 11 Oscars. There you go. I don't think the sequel won 11 Oscars, though. Ben-Hur is correct. 2016. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Might be good. I'll check it out. Now remember, we're doing historical epics. So these are all pretty well-known stories. This lavish epic is one of the most expensive films ever made. Elizabeth Taylor starred as the Egyptian queen in a scandalous production. Richard Burton, who played Mark Antony, was romantically involved with Taylor during the filming. Richard Burton, who played Mark Antony, oh, I already said that. Yes, of course you guys know this one. Alex, Meadow, Stewart, Christina. Everybody knows. The film features opulent sets and massive crowds. So they had to pay a lot of extras, right? They paid all those people? Were the Egyptian masses? The title refers to one of the most famous queens of Egypt, of course, Cleopatra. Who knows the year that Cleopatra was made? Anybody know the year that movie was made? Cleopatra is nearly bankrupted 20th Century Fox due to its enormous budget. There were some elaborate sets. Elaborate sets. All right, 1963 was the year, in case anybody was waiting on that. Cleopatra the 7th, of course. All right, number 16. Oh, no, I'm sorry, number 15. That was 16. Number 15. This film takes place during Japan's Meiji Restoration. It stars Tom Cruise as a disillusioned American soldier. The protagonist becomes immersed in samurai culture and tradition. Yeah, but no, you are correct. It is a historical epic. The movie features breathtaking battle scenes, including one with Gatling guns versus samurai warriors. Doesn't sound fair. That does not sound fair. The title refers to the ancient warrior class of Japan, of course. Cruise trained extensively in Japanese martial arts and the culture to prepare for the role. He is a method actor, after all, Mr. Cruise. You know, we haven't done Tom Cruise movies. I'm shocked. I'm stunned and shocked. Look for Tom Cruise movies on a future Dave's After Dark. I think Tom Cruise movies is an excellent call. All right, number 14. Yo, you already know this one. The picture's almost done. This film is set during the American Revolution. Mel Gibson stars as a reluctant hero and father protecting his family. The movie portrays pivotal battles against the British Redcoats. Stewart, would-be Stewart that would get this one. The next governor of Canada. The movie portrays pivotal battles against the British Redcoats. Heath Ledger plays the protagonist's courageous son. The title refers to someone who fights for their country's freedom, the patriot. Yes, we did. We did. Crazy King George, right? Crazy King George. The Patriot is correct. The climatic battle was loosely inspired by the Battle of Cowpens, right near me, a turning point in the Revolutionary War. That's local. That's local to upstate South Carolina. Number 13. Directed by Stanley Kubrick. The same guy who did the moon landing, right? Same guy who directed the moon landing? The Apollo 11 moon landing? Kirk Douglas stars as the leader of a slave revolt against Rome. The iconic I am scene symbolizes celerity and sacrifice. The film is renowned for its massive battle scenes and political themes. Stewart! Bedell had it way up there, though, huh? You guys had this. You guys had this one from the get-go. Good job. The movie's screenwriter Dalton Trumbo was blacklisted in Hollywood during its production. Yeah, I thought there was some controversy about this movie. 1960. Spartacus. Kirk Douglas. Stanley Kubrick. The guy who directed the moon landing. Hopefully you guys got that joke. Hopefully you didn't miss that. It was gold. Pure gold. Number 12. Oh, you know this one. Are you not entertained? That's all you need. This film revived the historical epic genre. Russell Crowe, one of our favorites, plays a betrayed Roman general seeking vengeance. The film's tagline, "Are you not entertained?" became iconic. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture. And the title refers to the warrior who fought in Roman arenas. And I don't even need to look. I know you guys all got that. So glad Ramos got my joke. Glad to hear it. Much more important than the answer to that question. That is the gladiator, of course. The Colosseum scenes were a mix of real-life sets and groundbreaking CGI. Yeah, I would imagine like the scenes where they pulled the awning back and forth at the Colosseum, that had to be CGI, right? And all the crazy animals from Africa fighting and stuff, man. Yeah. Maximus, are you not entertained? That comes in at number 12. Number 11 is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. This film is considered one of the greatest cinematic achievements of all time. It chronicles the life of a British officer during the Arab Revolt of World War I. Peter O'Toole plays the charismatic and conflicted title character. Correct you are! Another Ridley Scott classic. No, that one was. This one's not. This one should be. Maybe Ridley Scott should redo this one. What do you think? That might be good. You can almost see it here. Throughout this whole movie, his eyes are so blue. He must be wearing blue contacts. They're like blue jewels. The movie features breathtaking desert landscapes and sweeping cinematography. The title refers to a real-life British officer who worked with Arab tribes. The movie holds the record for the longest running time of a Best Picture Oscar winner. Oh, how long was that movie? Was it like 3.5 hours or something? Long one, right? Long movie. David Lean. Yeah. I think Ridley Scott should redo it. Who should play the lead? Russell Crowe. Tom Cruise. All right. This next one's good. Number 10. This film was inspired by Homer's Iliad and dramatizes the Trojan War. Brad Pitt stars as the legendary warrior Achilles. You guys know all of these. You're too fast at these. Mado, Rumba, Stewart. The film showcases epic battles, including the iconic Trojan horse scene. Yeah. Eric Bana and Orlando Bloom play Hector and Paris. Key figures in the story. Yeah, I could see Orlando Bloom as Paris. I see that in a heartbeat. The title is The Name of the Ancient City Under Siege. Yes, it is. You are all correct. Troy, 2004. The production built full-scale sets of Troy and its walls, which were later destroyed during the filming of the final battle. Full-size replicas. Yeah, Achilles. Yeah. All right. Next one's one of my favorites. Frank Miller. This movie is based on Frank Miller's graphic novel. It depicts King Leonidas and his 300 Spartan warriors at the Battle of Thermopylae. The film's striking visual style combines slow motion and high contrast. Yes, it does. It is cool. Very stylized. Very cool. What's his name? Robert Rodriguez? Is that right? I think that's his name. The title refers to the number of Spartan soldiers fought to the death. The title refers to the, despite his stylized visuals, much of the dialogue is adapted from actual historical accounts of the battle. Gerard Butler, yeah. But director, Robert Rodriguez. I love his movies. He's the, oh shoot, what was the vampire one with the bar? The bar with the vampires? Dusk Till Dawn guy. I think that's the same guy. Could be wrong. 300. That was a classic. Where he kicks the guy into the hole. Yeah. All right. What do we got going here? Number 8. This biblical epic features Charlton Heston as Moses. It dramatizes the Exodus story, another Exodus story, including the parting of the Red Sea. Cecil B. DeMille directed the film, known for his grandiose sets and massive extras, just like Cleopatra. Well, no. Matt Al has the answer to the movie. Very good. I guess the character is Moses. I guess. It portrays Moses receiving the 10 Commandments from God, the burning bush and all. Right? Remember the burning bush? Yeah. Red Sea parts. Sheesh. The Red Sea parting scene was achieved using a water tank, gelatin, and a clever reverse photography technique. Before CGI, 1956. The 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments. Santa Claus. Yeah. Santa's like a side character in this one. All right, number 7. This one's a little different. Surprised it made the list. I didn't see this movie and I want to see it. This Viking epic blends historical fiction with Norse mythology. Alexander Skarsgård stars as the prince seeking revenge for his father's murder. The film showcased brutal battles and mystical visions. Yeah, Stuart, very good. You are correct, Madao. The title reflects the Viking heritage of the main character. It draws inspiration from the same legend that inspired Hamlet. The filmmakers used authentic Viking designs for costumes, weapons, and boats to ensure historical accuracy. Very good. There he is. That's kind of a movie poster look, though, right? The Northman. Yeah. That doesn't look like an action. It's like a movie poster. We'll take it. The Northman. Checking in at number 7. Next up is number 6. And again, I have a lot of favorites, but one of my favorites. Check in at number 6. I don't know, something about the movie that's interesting. It's not in English, really, right? This next movie is not in English. It's directed by Mel Gibson. This film is set during the decline of the Mayan civilization. The story follows a young hunter trying to save his family from captivity. The film uses the Yucatec Maya language. Yeah, there you go. That's why we had a hard time understanding it. It depicts rituals, sacrifices, and the arrival of Spanish conquistadors. There's the conquistadors. Yes, very good. Yeah, I guess Madal got it first, huh? Very good. Very good, Stuart. You are correct. Cool movie, right? You guys saw that, right? Apocalypto? Pretty cool movie. You didn't see it. You gotta see it. Very different. The film's actors were mostly local non-professionals, chosen for their authenticity. Some gnarly scenes in the urban centers, right? The Mayan urban centers where they bring all the slaves and line them up for the sacrifices. Pretty gritty. Working on a sequel. Woo! That's music to my ears. Number 6, or number 5. I'm sorry, number 5. Kevin Costner directed and starred in this Western epic. The story follows a Union soldier who befriends a Sioux tribe. The film features themes of cultural exchange and environmental respect. It won 7 Academy Awards, including the Best Picture. Yes, and you all know it. Check Madal got it. Rhombus, Stewart. Everybody knows. The title refers to the protagonist's given name by the Sioux people. Yeah, that makes sense. The buffalo hunt scene used 3,500 buffalo and is one of the largest animal sequences ever filmed. Huh. They didn't run them over a cliff, did they? I can't remember. Because that seems like that would have been animal cruelty if they would have run the buffaloes over the cliff like they used to do in the old days, back in the day. Back in the day. There he is, Kevin Costner. Number 4. I think you know this one. This one appears on our show quite often. Mel Gibson directed and starred in this film about Scottish freedom fighter William Wallace. The movie blends historical drama with stunning battle sequences. It features Wallace's rallying cry, "They may take our lives, but what? They may take our lives, but what? But what?" The film won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. The title reflects Wallace's indomitable spirit and courage. Many of the extras in the battle scenes were members of the Irish Army Reserve. Yes, very good. There's a place in Canada called Head Smash in Buffalo Jump. I don't know what that means. Sounds funny though. And Stuart has the correct answer. But they will never take our freedom. there he is. Never. All right, checking in at number 3. This is the original. This classic epic is one of the most decorated films in Oscar history, which we talked about earlier. Charlton Heston, stars once again as a Jewish prince betrayed by his Roman friend. The iconic chariot race scene is among the most thrilling in cinema. The story explores themes of vengeance, redemption, and faith. The title is the name of the main character. This is the original. I think Rhombus got it first, probably. Rhombus, Stewart, Madame, Ben-Hur, 1959. The chariot race took 5 weeks to film and used 15,000 extras. Had to pay all those guys. Charlton Heston, he was a busy man there for a while, wasn't he? Did you guys remember seeing him in, Planet of the Apes? This was great, right? He was great in that. And then the Omega Man. Did you see the Omega? You're familiar with Omega Man? Yeah, that was good. Those were late career movies. Charlton Heston, very good. All right, we're down to the top 2 historical epics. And both of these films have made many appearances on various categories of our show. Number 2, Steven Spielberg directed this deeply emotional Holocaust epic. The film portrays Oskar Schindler's efforts to save over 1,000 Jewish workers. It's shot mostly in black and white with a striking use of color in a key moment. The movie won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. The title refers to the list of names Schindler compiled to protect workers from the Nazi death camps. Yes, you all have it. Madame, Stewart, Rhombus, Schindler's List. The girl in the red coat symbolizes innocence amidst the horrors of the Holocaust. Anybody know the year, Schindler's List? Anybody know the year? Throw it out there if you know. Throw it on out. I'm just now reading your joke. It's good. Good joke. All right, number 1 with a bullet. This Civil War epic is one of the most iconic films in Hollywood history. It stars Vivien Leigh as Scarlett O'Hara and Clark Gable as Red Butler. The film's famous line. I'm gonna work on it now. It explores themes of love, war, and survival in the South. The title reflects the fleeting nature of the antebellum South. All right, we all know the answer to this one, of course. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Adjusted for inflation, it remains the highest grossing film of all time when adjusted for inflation. Gone with the Wind is, of course, correct. And I think most of you probably even remember that it's 1939 because I've asked that question a few times. A classic, making its 10th appearance here on Days After Dark. Gone with the Wind. Vivien Leigh and Clark Gable. Whew. We made it. Thanks for hanging out. That was a trudge. Those film noirs were kind of hard, huh? The film noir. Yeah, good game on the last one. That was a good one to end on, right? Definitely a good one to end on. All right, man. Well, everybody have a good rest of the evening, and we will see you. Will we see you on Sunday? Want to talk about what I'm going to do on Sunday? I've already, I have to get planning ahead of time nowadays. I have to get out ahead of these things. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do on Sunday, so you can decide whether you want to come or not. The first category is going to be the strangest people that ever lived. 20. How do you like that? 20 strangest people that ever lived. And then we're going to do 20 times the CIA did questionable things. Could be more than 20, but 20 questionable CIA programs. Okay? And then you're going to love it. The 20 most important events in British Isle history. Okay? So thinking of it as a geographical place. The 20 most important events in history. All right? So those are our three categories for Sunday. Hopefully you like those. Yeah. Yeah, I do some CIA videos on my little channel here. I think it fits both in the history and now the mystery category, right? And yeah, the YouTube doesn't treat them very well. The algorithm, unless if people respond to them, it can overcome the algorithm. But I think there's some like keyword things that trigger YouTube's not spreading the videos. So we do suffer from that a little bit. Yeah, sounds really British centric. But it's kind of the British Isles in history. So I think we all can do that. I know I could get a few of those, especially since I have the clues. I could definitely get a few. All right. And of course the future's unlimited on the number of different stories. All right, guys, take it easy. Do always appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good evening. Take it easy. All that. Adios.
The night wears heels. She struts alone. This bar's the place I call my home. I sip this swallow pride. Pretend the moonlight lights by my side. Tell me, was it ever real, or just a song you used to feel? I still burn. I still ache. I still whisper your name when I break. In this velvet room where memories bloom, I still wait for a shadow to take shape.